Good morning, everybody. This is Wednesday, week 25, morning work. Let's do it. All right, so week 25, Wednesday, number one, median. To find the median of the set, we put them in order from least to greatest. We find the number in the middle, and it's 10. Number two is still median, but it's a little more interesting. This one has an even number of data. So if you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers, that means we're going to have two numbers in the middle, 13 and 14. So we're looking for what's between 13 and 14. So if we're on a number line, right, and this is 13, this is 14, what comes right in the middle? It would be 13 and a half, right, or 13.5. So if the numbers aren't as easy as that again, what we can do is we can add the numbers up and divide by 2, which would be finding the mean. So if I add 13 and 14, gives me 27. And if I do 27 divided by 2, that's going to give me my true median. All right, which of course is going to be 13 and 1 out of 2, which is 13 and a half, or 0.5. And of course I could just keep this going into decimal form, right? And then I get my 10, which would give me the 0.5. So there's many ways I can go about the division. Usually in data we use decimals, so I would recommend doing the decimal form, but our true median is 13.5. So number 3, you've got a length of a room at 9 feet, and then the width at 80% of 9 feet, which is less than 9 feet, so I made it a little shorter. So I like drawing a picture on things like this to help me visualize that I understand percentages are less than a total. So what is 80% of 9? Remember, we can just move the decimal over twice, which is 0.8. I don't really even need the 0. Just do 0.8 times 9. And 0.8 times 9, of course, is 72, because we think of it as 9 times 8, or 8 times 9, and then we just have one decimal place value, so we put our one decimal place value in. And if I do put that 0 in, it's not going to change anything. And is 7.2 less than 9? Yes, so it's reasonable and would make sense because it's a little shorter. All right, there's number 3. So mean, you guys are pretty good at. We have the 4 sets of data, so we add them up because mean is average to make a lump sum, and then we divide by 4. I got 44, I divided it by 4, I got 11, so my mean is 11. And remember, the MAD is the mean absolute deviation. I went over this more on, I think, Monday, week 25. But step 1 is to make a new list. Your new list is how far are each of my data points, so 3, 13, 13, and 15, from 11, my mean. 11 and 3 has a difference of 8. 11 and 13 has a difference of 2, 2, and 11 and 15 has a difference of 4. So then I find the mean of my new list. That's really it. It's just an extra step. And when I get 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 divided by 4, because there's 4 numbers, is 4. Therefore, my MAD, or mean absolute deviation, is 4. So hopefully this kind of problem is becoming mental math. This is number 5. It's 7 divided by 1/2, which is the same as 7 times 2. Remember, division and multiplication are opposites if you do the reciprocal of the other number. The reciprocal of 1 over 2 is 2 over 1, which is just 2. So dividing by 1/2 is the same as multiplying by 2. Dividing by 1/3 is the same as multiplying by 3, so on and so forth. And here's a picture to prove it. If this is 7, the blue lines separated it into 7 pieces. Do you see that? Feel free to pause the video at any point in time. We know how to watch educational videos. And then if I make each one of these, if I divide them in half, that's what the red line is, how many little pieces are created? 14. And that's what it's asking. If I had 7 and I broke them into groups of 1/2, wouldn't that give me 14 pieces? Because each one becomes 2. And so therefore, 7 times 2 can give you 14. All right, for the ratio tables, remember you're looking for the relationship from one column to the next, since these are vertical. And so 3 to 1 is divided by 3. And to get from 1 to 3, if we're going left to right, or right to left, sorry, going backwards, would be times 3, because that's the opposite of our rule of divided by 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2. And 4 times 3 is 12. For number 7, I have to use 5 and 30. And so when I go right, my rule is times 6. When I go left, my rule is divided by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, 12 divided by 6 is 2, and 9 times 6 is 45. For number 8, back to ratios, you can see I have 10 x's and 4 o's, which of course, if I were to divide in half, right, I would get 5 to 2, 5 to 2, and then I could keep going 5 and 2, 5 and 2. So my ratio of x's to o's would be 10 to 4 at the beginning. Like, this is not simplified because for every 5 x's, there's 2 o's. So that's why I did 10 to 4 and then 5 to 2, because those are the same. You need to recognize that I can simplify ratios the same way I simplify fractions. For number 9, 3/4 is the same as 75 hundredths because 4 can become 100 with times 25. So I do times 25 to 3 and I get 75. And if you remember, we can make equivalent fractions or ratios by multiplying both numbers by the same factor. And number 10, plotting the following points. If 0 is here, that means this is all positive, and therefore negatives are all back here. So you can see these lines are a little bigger, a little longer, and they're 5 apart. So I just went ahead and labeled them, -5, -10, -15. Didn't plot them, I just labeled them. Notice there's no dot. So then I went and plotted -3, right? And then when I did -12, I should not have counted over 12 times. Okay, that's too much work. What I should have done is gone to -10 and then counted 2 more. So hopefully you did that. You went to -10, then 2 more to get to -12. And then for -14, I just did 2 more than -12. Some of you may have gone to 15 and back 1. That would work. So that's plotting our negative numbers. So there's Wednesday, week 25. Sweet bedhead. Man, I'm loving this. All right, if you have any questions on any of them, 1 through 10, just message me on Schoology. I don't know if you can comment on the Edpuzzle videos, but be happy to go over any more with you if you need to. All right, let's have a good day.